Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Bougie Book Pod. I'm Tara.
And I'm Kira.
And today we have finally made it to
Oh.
Kingdom of Ash. And we are going to separate this into two episodes. Luckily, Sarah J. Maas knew how to do that by putting it into a part one and a part two of this big, massive undertaking.
980 pages. I couldn't remember.
Woo! Good Lord. I am currently, I think, 70-something% through this book. I am currently also on Thanksgiving break, so I intend to finish this book this week.
Which is crazy because I haven't noted what page part one ends on. It's 585. But, like, you think about the plot and then the emotional
so much more
toll.
coming.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I've been on, like, tender hooks since I've started this book of just abject fear of what's coming for me.
Yeah.
And I will say that as I started this book, I had ideas of the types of things that will destroy me. And now that I'm halfway through, those ideas have changed. And now I'm wondering, I don't know anything. I don't know what's going to destroy me, but I have my theories about who will be sacrificed and who will not. And I don't know. I don't know anything.
There's this, my phone's the one that records, so I can't look it up. But this person that comes across my TikTok quite a bit, and it's her. She's already read the series. I think I sent you one clip from it. It's her husband reading Kingdom of Ash and like his reactions as things are happening. I live for those videos because like to know what they're going through.
I thought about, it's funny because last week was the week before Thanksgiving at school, and so we had some time where kids are reading quietly, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk around the room and get some of my reading done too. And like, I have to stop, and I don't get much reading because I have to keep monitoring them and stuff. But I got to a certain point, and luckily they were actually at lunch, and so it was right before the lunch bell rang, and I'm reading, and I was like, and I got all emotional, and I had to close it. I was like, I cannot be reading this at school because I'm gonna have these reactions.
I don't think I read it in public, to be honest.
No, but I was like, maybe I should record myself once I get to the later chapters, but yeah. I don't know. I think I'd be embarrassed. But so here we are. And it's funny, I was just thinking about this in the shower this morning that I think I started this series in the summer, and here we are the week of Thanksgiving, and I'm in the last book, and I'm excited, but I'm sad, and I don't know where to go with my life from here.
It's hard.
It is so hard. I've never, I always bring it back to Harry Potter, but that's kind of how it's feeling. Like, I don't want to say goodbye to these people. So it's just, I guess it's special when someone creates a world and characters that you really fall for in some way or another. But where we left off with our tandem read, our characters were slowly getting closer to each other on the map. We had Kale and Irene, or Irene, however you say her name, and our Moroccan people, excuse me.
Yes.
Coming together on the ship to go. They were going towards Terrasen, or I know they don't make it there. They stop, well, where I'm at in the book, but they're heading to help in the war. And then we have Aelin, who has been captured. And then Manon, the 13, and Dorian, they head off on their own journey now to find the Crocian witches.
Yep.
And Elide with Rowan and Lorcan.
Is Gabriel with them?
Gabriel, yeah. Or I was saying Gabriel, but maybe it's Gabriel.
I have no idea. That just came out of my mouth.
Let's call him Mr. G. And they're on a mission to find Aelin, which is a very difficult one. And then Aelin and Lysandra, who is pretending to be Aelin, they are with Ansel and the Silent Assassins, and they are going through it. They are off to battle, and
yeah, they're like actually the ones battling currently.
They are currently in
Everyone
war.
has their own battles.
Yeah, but they are like the ones who are really in war at this point. And I think they're also trying to drum up more people and more territories to join them.
Yep.
So that's where we left off. And so our characters finally are like coming closer together, but then they separate again on their own little adventures. But
the goal
yeah,
is now united in a way.
Yes.
Before when it was like we're kind of all doing our own thing.
Yeah, and so now they all have like this one goal, which is to defeat Morath and the Valg princess and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where we are, and I will say, as soon as this book started, I should start like taking screenshots of the text that I send you, because I was not okay the moment I started this book.
I was gonna find like, oh my god.
We wrote down here, Sarah J. Maas woke up and chose pain. She really, really did.
And I can't remember what the line is, but essentially, oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, because it starts off with like Rowan, and it says he stayed with his companions even as the days passed, then the weeks, then months. Still he searched. Yeah,
months.
Yeesh.
And I think we talked about it off camera. I equated that to when I saw Endgame for the first time, Marvel, and like bad things that happened in the previous movie, and so you get to this one and you're like, okay, it's gonna be better now, and then it's just on the screen it says 5 years later, and you're just like, what? And so, months is not as much as years, but when you find out what's being done to her for months, you're just like, months? No one has found her for months? No one has saved her for months?
No.
I was not okay. So part 1 starts off real heavy and dark, and I'm telling you, part 1 is all heavy and bleak and dark and sad, and there are like a few tiny little whisper moments of levity, but it's like when people are trying to lift the mood for the sake of lifting the mood, and it doesn't really lift the mood. Like the fact that they're trying to be funny is also sad. Yes. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So that's what part 1 is.
Yeah. That's accurate. And a lot of plot happens in part 1.
Oh yeah.
Like part 2, a lot happens, but I think for me, part 2 is more of an emotional one. God. Which like part 1 is obviously emotional, but like, But yeah, I reading her point of view in the box with Fenris there was just like you almost like physically hurt for her, and then you realize how weak you are as a person. Oh, because I'm like, I'm gonna give myself 24 hours.
Like, I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Literally.
What do you want?
Could not be me.
No. No. And it's funny because you see all these memes and TikToks and Instagram posts of like girls like working out, like they have to get a dragon, or like, this is motivating. Yeah. And then I'm like, I would never survive.
No, every time I read like a fantasy book, there's something in it where I was like, I wouldn't have made it to that point. No. Absolutely not.
I don't even think I would have put the boots on, to be honest with you.
No, fourth wing, I'd be in that library.
Yes.
Anywho, I just realized how weak I am.
I know.
Reading Aelin's point of view.
And I want to be strong, but it's not me. It's not who I am. I'd like to think that given the opportunity and I had to be strong, that I could, but deep down inside, I know it's not me.
And knowing that you have one person there for you, and the only way you can communicate is through blanks.
Yeah.
And you have a silent, how they came across this decision, like 1 blank, 2 blanks, 4 blank, like, I don't know. But anyway, it was just brutal because Karen, the way he puts her back together to do it all over again, and then she's essentially not even in her physical like body.
Yeah.
Like she's been reborn or regrown, whatever, so many times that that's like not even her anymore. So to her core, it's just her mental state. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. So we're talking as if obviously you've already read the book. Yeah. Why would you be here?
Yeah.
But she's in like almost like a coffin at this point, an iron coffin, and an iron mask over her face. So her face is never even like free in the air. I'm too
claustrophobic for that to start with.
I know. Don't even get me. I try not to think about it.
I'm stressed.
Do you ever like watch movies and like when they have to like crawl in these tight spaces? Could you do it? I couldn't do it.
Hell no.
I would never be able to do it.
Hell
I can't
no.
go. I couldn't. Years ago, they wanted me to get a CAT scan or whatever for my migraines, and I was like, "Is that open?" And they're like, "No, it has to be." I didn't get it.
All the MRIs I've gotten in my life have been open
I
MRIs.
cannot go into a closed space like
Even
that.
the open ones are small, but
So we are weaklings. Okay, that's fine. But so Aelin is not a weakling.
No.
But so much is being done to her that you do start to think she's going to break.
Oh, 100%.
Not in terms of like she's going to give up information, but she is like willingly, like she gets to a point she's like, I'm ready to go.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah. And you cannot blame her.
No. Because you got Maeve, like obviously he is, whatever his name is doing everything physically, but then you've got Maeve and her stupid ass mind games. Like the amount of times I was reading something and I did not believe it.
Yeah.
And I did not like that.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh my god, I don't know either. I literally
Siri.
like that was heartbreaking for me. The mental stuff that Maeve put her through, like the whatever you call it, when she would like paint her a picture in her mind, like show her this is what actually happened, but then it's like as a reader that's not what's happening, and I can't.
Yeah, it was sad. So she's being broken apart physically, over and over and over again, physically tortured. At some point, even burned, so her flesh peels off of her, and then they magically repair her with brand new skin. And it's funny because she gets to a point where like the scars that she had are gone, the tattoo that Rowan gave her, and it's interesting to think that you'd be sad to not have scars anymore, but it's what made her who. It's like a roadmap of her life.
And I mean, it's part of who you are.
The things that she went through and the things that she accomplished, so it's just, this part is just so unbelievably sad. And then, like you said, Fenris is there, and he's always in the form of his wolf. And his torture is basically he cannot do anything about it. He just has to sit there and watch.
Because he still has the blood oath to Maeve.
Yeah, and so like you said, they have this blink system of like, are you okay? Or I'm here.
I'm here with you. Yes, no, are you okay? I think we're like the 4.
Yeah. And they're constantly just reminding each other, I'm here with you.
Yeah.
And, it's comforting, but it's also, this is just so bleak. So bleak. And she's gotten to the point where she believes that Rowan is not looking for her because she told them, like she set up the plan not to, like, go ahead with everything and save Terrasen, and Terrasen needs a king and all of that. And so I think for a moment she did believe that he would, but now that we're so many months in, she's like, well, I guess he listened to me, and that's cool. But she's starting to feel like,
wish she wouldn't have.
Exactly. And then she's also thinking about Dorian, because Dorian could also break all of this and sacrifice himself. And so now she's feeling guilty because a part of her's hoping, well, maybe he'll do it, and then I don't have to do it. And so there's just a lot.
Which, like, I don't blame her. I would think the same thing.
There's a lot going on mentally here. And meanwhile, while she's dealing with that, war is breaking out all over the damn place.
Nehemiah's home.
Yeah.
Whatever that place is called. They've got war there.
Yeah, and it's like pretty much run down, taken over. Morath is like just, it's like this disease and it's just spreading everywhere. Let's see. We get to, so Rowan and his posse with Elide and them, they're just like, I imagine like they're just like in the woods everywhere, and they're trying to come up with certain leads on like where the hell she possibly could be. They have no idea. They're trying to get like spies and like capturing people who were in Maeve's army, and there's just, it seems like Maeve has kept it really, really close to the chest that even her people have no idea when she's around or if Aelin is with her.
I was gonna say there are times where they think Maeve has moved different places. I was trying to remember the name of the like capital or the biggest city there. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if I said that.
And like all the meanwhile you have Elide and Lorcan who are still not on great terms.
No, they're not.
But like they're like, we're gonna do this for Aelin.
Yeah.
Their support for Aelin, but you have, but Elide, honestly, like, shout out to her because I could not, like, yeah, depends on who we're talking's in this coffin, but like have to spend months with someone you are that pissed at
Yeah.
after what you went through emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, but
I mean, to his credit, he's trying really, really hard
he
to
is.
do everything to make it up to all of them. Um, and he's
Yeah.
still dealing with the grief of like the blood oath, but then realizing that he was an idiot. Um, yeah, there's a lot that he's dealing with, but he's, rightfully so dealing with it, I guess. And then it seems like Rowan and Gabrielle they're just tolerating him at this point.
Yeah.
They need him. They need someone like him to help.
Yeah.
So um, that's what's going on
Because they
there.
describe Lorcan in the beginning as like Rowan in my eyes is like up here as like a
Mm-hmm.
fighter and the power, and like it seems like Lorcan is like just below him. So like they
Yeah.
have to have him.
You know what? He kind of reminds me of uh, Resand a little bit in his ability. Like there was that battle. I don't even remember what book it was where Resand was just like he could just wipe out like
Oh
with like
yeah.
this shadow of this darkness and wipe out
Mm-hmm.
all these people. It seems like Lorcan has that. Like his gift is death.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
so that is very instrumental.
Yes, he's portrayed in every fan art. He is wearing black.
Yeah, like so they need someone like
Yeah.
him, unfortunately or fortunately. So, but also shout out to Elide because even though she's angry and she's got all of this grief and her world is completely upside down, she's still like she's like the practical one in the group. Like
Mm-hmm.
she kind of reminds people like, hey, did we think of this or what happens when that, like things that they
Yeah.
weren't thinking about, and they're like,
Because
oh yeah,
I feel like it's Rowan is so. You described him as so feral. So he's
yeah.
thinking like, like
Aelin, Aelin, Aelin.
animals are like survive, eat,
Yeah,
survive, eat. He's like Aelin, Aelin, Aelin.
yeah,
I don't even know what is going through Gabrielle's head. He's like, I'm a dad, I'm a dad. I'm like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and Lorcan's like, oh my god, Elide, forgive me. I'm a terrible
yeah,
person, guilty conscious. And she's the only one that's like, all right, people, we need to eat, we need
yeah.
to sleep, we
Yep.
need like,
Yep. Like those people over there, did they see us? Because I think they might have seen us. What are we
yeah,
going to do when they see us? What are we going to do when this happens? What does that thing in the sky mean? And
yeah,
they're like, oh, we didn't even realize it. So
for real.
she becomes really instrumental
And
in,
leave it to be a woman.
yes, in pointing out the practical things of like, hello,
Yeah.
did we forget this? And it's just so funny because there's so many moments, and I wish I could remember a specific one, but there have been so many moments. I know like once they end up meeting up with Kale, and there are moments too where she points things out, and they're all like, I mean, and these are like these military people. They're like, oh, we didn't think of that. Maybe we should take care of this. So she becomes really instrumental in their group.
Yeah.
And then we have Adian.
Adian and Lysandra, like I like them as characters, but reading Kingdom of Ash, they were my least favorite ones to jump to point of view. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it
Because
because it was frustrating?
I don't know if it was just like frustrating, but it was also because they're more like they've got war going on, they've got politics, they've got
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I was more like,
Let's get back to
let's go to this story. Let's go to
yeah.
this story. Like that's the one thing in fantasy books that I don't have the best time with is when we're in a war.
Yes, it's hard for me to
Yes.
with and as descriptive as she is, and she's really great at it. It is really hard for me to keep track and understand like and to see it in my brain.
And I
There's just
also think I was just so irritated with Adian.
yes, and I'm gonna look for because I know I highlighted a specific moment that
Ugh.
just
My
I
thing,
was not happy.
my thing with him is it just like I can't remember what book it was. He's all pissy with Aelin because he's like, tell me your plans," and I
Mm-hmm.
get it to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But then in this book, he's all pissy with Lysandra, like, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?" And it's like because Adian, you would have talked them out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You would have had like laser focus on this and not seen the whole picture, like Rowan and them over there. Like
Mm-hmm.
you would have just done this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like at some point I just want to shake him and I'm like, you need to get over it. Aelin is literally in a box right now, being tortured. Lysandra's not even herself, doing what Aelin asked.
Yep.
You have this loyalty to Aelin. Like at this point, I
Yep.
just need you to go with the plan, even if you don't know what the plan is.
Yeah. I just I understand his frustration
Yeah.
and his honestly, it's fear. It's his fear of
Mm-hmm.
everything going wrong
Yeah.
and losing his cousin again when he just got her back and losing all of the people that he cares about. But at the end of the day, I think it was Manon who said it to Aelin of like, this is war and there's no time for that. So
Yeah.
just buck up and get over it. And what are we going to do next?
Yeah. You see in so many books, fantasy or not, where characters are at war, something happens, and it's like they let their guard down. They like,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you have the confessions and the
Mm-hmm.
I forgive yous and all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff because it's like we don't know what the next day brings. And Adian's like, I'll think about it later.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna stay pissed at you guys. And I get it, but like I don't know. There's too much political going on with them and him. Did you find what you're looking for?
I didn't find the specific part, but I found the part. So there's a moment where he says just awful things to her,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
and she comes back to him and after a battle, and she's barefoot, she's bleeding. I mean, she is doing everything she possibly can, pretending to be Aelin, but then like disappearing so that she can shapeshift and
Mm-hmm.
actually fight because she can't fight as Aelin.
No.
And anyway, I forget what the circumstances were, but she comes back to him and it's snowy and it's cold. And he just basically says the most awful, vile things to her. And I know I highlighted it, but I can't find it right now. And he kicks her out into the snow. And he's
Yeah.
basically like, I don't even like want to see you ever. And she doesn't fight back. She doesn't say anything. She just walks away. But they do get to a point in another battle where she is Aelin,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
and she does it knowing that like if she doesn't do this, they're going to retreat and lose their morale.
Yeah, because they
So
have been like they haven't seen her firepower and everything they've been promised that
yes,
Aelin can do. Yeah.
yeah, and so she decides this will probably kill me, but I have to show up as Aelin so that the soldiers kind of rally up, be like, our queen is here. We have
Mm-hmm.
to fight for her and protect
Yeah.
her. And she does this really ballsy move, and she makes it out really just by like the skin of her teeth. But they have to get her out and thankfully heal her or whatever. And then when she comes to, and I think it's like 2 days later or something like that.
Yes, I read this actually today. This part.
And Aiden is just like apologizing for the way he's been so shitty to her. And he's like, you were willing to die for it, Aelin.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she says to him, I have been degraded and humiliated in so many ways for so many years, but I have never felt as humiliated as I did when you threw me into the snow,
Yeah.
when you called me a lying bitch in front of your friends and allies. Never. And
Yeah.
I was just like, how do you come back for them? And she said, I was once forced to crawl before men, and God's above, I nearly crawled for you these months. And yet it takes me nearly dying for you to realize that you've been an ass. It was just like such a
Yeah.
powerful scene. And then she says to him, I wanted it to be you.
Well, yeah, they talk about an Empire of Storms.
Mm-hmm. I wanted it to be you, like after all the guys who have just made her feel like she cannot trust men, she wanted the one man that she felt like would change all of that in her mind to be him.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He threw her out on the snow because he was mad.
And that's the same battle when she is injured and dying and unconscious. Uh, her body like has to shift back, and that exposes what she's been doing. So
Yeah.
it's like,
And so now everyone knows that that's not Aelin, and
Yeah.
they're like wondering where the hell she is. And then because of this, then Adian is stripped of his title
yeah,
in terms of like his leadership, but the soldiers don't really follow that. They
No.
still refer
Their
to
loyalty
him.
is
Yeah,
still-
their loyalty
yeah.
is still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild time. Great. I just lost my spot in my book now.
Yes, yeah. Which is
but
interesting because like all the couples that were having success, like
Yeah.
you got Elide and Lorcan.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're gonna make it back, and it like sure looks like Aelin and Lysandra are just done.
Yeah. I mean, I there's a lot going on in their world, and I know that like war and times of uncertainty can bring people back together because you know there's not much time.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he treated her for so long and dismissed her when she was continuously fighting for him and his cause, I just don't know if I would have it in me to be
I'm
forgiveful.
I'm way too petty for that. I hold
Same,
grudges way too long too.
same, same.
There's no way.
I read that speech and I was just, part of me was like, I hope she never forgives him. I don't think he deserves it.
I liked her speech.
But then here, let me get into some theories. I'm afraid to tell you my theories because I hope they're wrong. But then if they're not wrong, then I'm going to be wondering. Okay, anyway.
Okay, let me get my face ready. Okay.
But see, I'm starting to worry that Aelin will die and that he will somehow be a sacrifice. There are things happening in the book and the way he is talking and the way people are talking around him that are making me worried for his safety. I'm starting to think that Aelin actually will survive this, but Aelin or Dorian will not.
Mm.
That's all I get. Okay.
That's interesting.
But that's my worry. And here's the thing. It's a worry, but it's also like I don't want any of them to die. But I feel like somebody's going to die. Somebody has to. And I don't know who that's going to be. So let's talk about the witches.
Witches.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Because you're so quiet, it's making me so nervous. And you know, like when you just want to.
I hope talking. I remember this moment for the future.
Okay.
So when things happen, because this is just I love this, and this has happened with other books too. This is why like. Yeah, anyway, okay.
It's just, you know, like when you're nervous and you just keep talking because you're like, why are you quiet? So now I'm like
I can't say anything.
Word vomit going on now, so let's just talk about Manon.
So Manon.
Manon, who is undoubtedly love Aelin, love her. But Manon, I don't know why she is my favorite character in this book.
I think it has to do with like Aelin's so smart and so powerful. But Manon just has Aelin has confidence.
Yeah.
But like Manon drips with confidence and like ballsiness and her wittiness. Like the shit she says to Dorian, I live for every time something comes out of her mouth.
Yeah. I think maybe it's also because Aelin is 20 at this point, 21, and Manon has to be like 500.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. She's very, very old. But there is just something about her that I just live for her chapters. Like it's so sad when they're over and we're moving on to someone else because like I just want to know more. And so she is on this mission with the 13 and Dorian to find the Croatian witches, and her and Dorian are having their like nightly flings, and it's just they call it like a release. Like that's their fun time with each other, and it's just and I enjoy that as well. But then they come along, one of those Stygian or whatever, however you pronounce them, spiders. They find one of the spiders.
Disgusting.
And, you know, she's like, freaking kill it. And Dorian's like, no, we can learn from it. And Dorian has been getting so powerful.
Remember, it's the specific spider?
Yes.
That she tricked before?
Yes. And then she's
what if it isn't the consequences of my own actions?
Whoopsies.
I love that part.
So do I.
She's like,
oh damn. Shit. She's like, oh damn. I remember.
I really thought I got away with that one.
But Dorian somehow.
He's smart.
He somehow is able to like his magic goes into this spider and is able to like learn.
Dorian's magic is like I cannot wrap my head around Dorian's magic.
What is his magic?
I don't know, because and this might be an argument for another day. I feel as though his magic is more powerful than Aelin's.
Agreed.
Like it is.
He just doesn't know it.
And his array of magic.
Yes.
Insane. Anyway.
Yes, he's able to. How he like he'll touch Manon with his magic of like the wind or the icy or whatever. Like that's just wild. But he can get inside other people, and his magic learns what makes them tick. And so this spider learned how to shapeshift. And he's just like, I wonder if I could do that. And he has this conversation with her, and she like breaks it down, and then he kills her after this information, which, good, because she ends up being a spy. But now he's like, I think I can shapeshift.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to work on that. And he tries and he tries and he tries. And it's at one point where he's arguing with Manon, and suddenly she's like, your eyes are brown. And it's just like this light bulb goes off of like, he knows what he needs. He needs to just like release certain things that he feels about himself. And then we've got like, there was one scene, and I highlighted some of it because it was so funny. I think you know what I'm going to talk about, where he changes into a woman, and he's like, oh, this is strange.
Yeah.
And then Manon's like, I'm surprised you didn't like try to have a little fun with yourself. He's like, that I was thinking about it, but I didn't have time. But it was just like, wow, okay.
Dorian's magic, I have like a theory that he has like, his magic comes from like dark origins.
Yes,
because of his father.
Well, his dad was possessed by Valg when he was.
Because the things that he can do make you think like in the wrong hands. Absolutely. Like the Valg, like that, like being able to go inside of someone and like all of that. He's got some dark magic with him, but he like changes into a woman. Like,
yeah.
He uses it for like the right thing. And the right side of the war, instead of being like, I am so powerful, look at all the things I could do, I could be in power. Like, he's not like that.
And he's got the sword of Brandon. Is it Brandon's sword? Gold Rear. I'm sorry, it starts with a G. But like every time he asks something or someone's speaking, if it is warm in his touch, that means it's the truth, and if it's cold, but he has yet to ask this sword, basically, am I part Valg? Because a part of him is wondering, where does all this power come from? This is pretty, like, he's realizing it's way more powerful than he ever thought, and like, where could this possibly be coming from? And so he's definitely grappling with the like, who am I really? And again, I'm so sorry, world. Brings me back to Harry Potter again. Of kind of like, I think what it comes down to, and I don't know, but maybe he is part Valg, just like Harry had a little bit of Voldemort in there. It's like, what do you choose to do with that ability? And 100%. I think we're seeing that he's choosing to be on the right side 100%. Of this war. So he's advancing in leaps and bounds in his abilities. Meanwhile, Manon, and they end up using that spider to find the Crocian witches. Like the spider tells them where they are. And so she finds a pack of them. I guess we can call them a pack of them. And
Glennis.
Yes, she's like the head matriarch. I picture her as an old lady. I don't know why. Maybe because she's the head.
Yeah.
But she is welcoming to Manon.
But not like, we're gonna give you our loyalty or trust you, but she's like, okay, you can hang.
She's like, I'm just kind of like, I'm happy you're here. Let's have chats. Let's talk about things. Meanwhile, obviously there are people in the camp who are like, hell no. But slowly over time, she's starting to earn their trust, and it's really beautiful. Actually, I don't remember if this is in part 1. I think it is. I can't remember now, but there is a scene where her grandma comes. Is that part 1?
That's part 1.
Okay, the grandma finds where they are, because she's been working with these Crocian witches, just trying so hard to like, but not trying hard enough, because Manon is Manon, right? So she's not going to grovel. No, she's not going to cry and say I'm sorry. But in her own way, she's doing these small little things over time to show them, I'm here. This is where I want to be. But the grandmother finds her, and she's got 2 other. Oh, it's because she went. I'm telling this all wrong. So Manon goes to the witches to appeal to, I think it was Petra, because Petra was the one who was going to like let her go when they were on trial. And she appeals to her and says, listen, this is what's going on. My grandmother wants to be the queen of all witches. She doesn't want she wants rule them all and you're not going
Yeah.
to have a say. And they're like, no way.
But she wants to keep them like against each other.
Yes. And she's like, so join us. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to come together and have our own clans and this and that. And they're able to leave alive, which is like, okay, they didn't say they were going to join us, but they do let us leave. Mm-hmm. But because of that, then they're tracked. And so the grandmother comes with the two other old ladies.
Yes.
And then like there's like an all-out battle with Manon and them. And at this point, I got really confused because I thought she had killed her grandmother, but she kills one of the other elders.
Mm-hmm. She kills what's her face?
Was it Petra's grandmother or mother?
Yeah, I believe so.
And you know, it shows the Crocians like her loyalty, and the grandmother just like runs with her tail between her legs. And it's at this point that they give
no, she the yellow legs
the
one.
yellow legs.
She doesn't kill Petra's mother.
That's right, because as like a
hey, here you go.
Yeah, like a thank you to Petra. Yeah. And my goodness, then she gets the crown that was it Rhiannon's crown? I don't remember now, but it was like,
I think it might be.
She's like the queen of the witches.
Yeah, they crown her queen of witches.
And the Crocians, they all like acknowledge such.
Yeah.
And it's from that point that I think Glennis comes with that flame, and it was like this flame that would unite witches. And you know, Manon says like this beautiful thing and about like, you know, will you join me? And they go to each little member of the clan, like whoever was in charge, and they're all like, yes, we will fight with you. And in my mind, I was like picturing this like Michael Bay production, you know, like the music was really like in my brain. My brain went so high tech. I could hear the music, and then like you could see like this just going from like village to village, because the way she wrote this just gave me shivers, because it was like in little towns or places they didn't know witches existed. Suddenly someone came to speak to a woman, and like the flame was lit, and then she'd put on her red cloak, and then she'd leave the house. And I'm picturing these families going, Mom was a witch? You know, like they had no idea. Like these women were just coming out of the woodworks, and they were all like, we're being called and it's time to go. We're coming back together. And it was just such a powerful moment, and I loved it so freaking much.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me.
No, that moment, and when the ships arrive in Empire of Storms, and Rowan's family puts their flags up, like those two moments had similar vibes to me.
Yes, it was just this intense. And again, I'm hearing the music, and I can see the red cloaks, and I can see them like going from town to town, and it's just like people are finally rising up. But I guess there's just something about that feeling of when people come together for a good cause. Like, we're going to take these people down.
So and then you've got, at the same time, Dorian, he's plotting.
Yes, and Manon knows it. She overhears him. He's plotting to go to Morath, because he's like, well, I've got this shifter thing down.
And I can't remember, I don't remember how it gets portrayed, but through Caltaine, how we said her name?
Yeah.
He figures out that the last word key is in Morath.
Yeah.
But I can't remember that communication because she's dead.
Yeah, he used one of the spells.
Oh, he summons.
The way Aelin did with Nehemia.
Yes.
And Caltaine was basically like,
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, she's basically like, it's not really a great idea. She goes, but you are ready for it.
She's like, that place sucks.
It's really dangerous, and you may not come out, but that like, this is where it is. Like, you're not ready to take him on.
Yeah.
But if you want to get that key in Vamos, like, you're ready for it, but do not. She's like, do not attempt to kill him.
Yeah.
You can't do that right now.
Get in, get out.
Yeah. And Manon overhears this, and she is pissed because she loves him.
She does not want him to go.
And she doesn't want him to go. She doesn't want him to die. And she has this feeling that if he goes, she's never going to see him again. And she doesn't want to admit that to him. But they do get to a point after she's been crowned that she admits, yeah, I'm afraid. And basically,
and she keeps the crown on.
She keeps the crown on. And then she says, what if I asked you not to go? Like, what would you do? And he's like, are you asking me? She's like, I'm going to make a deal with you. Why don't we make an allegiance? And basically, like, get married and imagine like king and I'm queen of the witches and you're like what we could do. And he considers it for a moment, and then they have like this lovely little scene together, and she wakes
Where
up.
she keeps the crown on.
Yeah, just to let him know who she is.
That's that move.
I think that's why we love her.
Yeah.
She's like, I just want you to remember who I am.
Yep.
But what I love about Dorian is he knows she can't be tied down as a queen. Like she has to be Manon.
Yeah.
And I think he's feeling very loved that she would even attempt to make that kind of sacrifice for him, but he knows
to her core she can't.
I can't let her do that. No. Like it won't be her. And so he leaves while she's sleeping. And when she wakes up, she knows, and she's like, "Well, I'm not going to Morath to get him. I'm gonna move on to where we are needed."
Kale.
Yes, Kale. Wow, I forgot about Kale. We were talking about so much with my faves.
But they have an important role.
They have a super important role. They go back to Antica. Is that how you pronounce it? Sure. Antica or Antica. Sorry, people who hate the way we pronounce things. Good but that's his home land, isn't it? No, Aniel. That's his home. It's Anielle.
Yes. So close. That's what I was looking for. So close to Morath.
Yes.
So flipping close.
Yes. And they get word that Morath is going to like bombard Anel. I can't pronounce it very well. But that's his homeland. That's where his dad is. And that's where they have like their kingdom or whatever. And so they make the split decision of like, ooh, do we go and help? Because they're supposed to be heading towards Terrasen. Yeah. Correct?
Yep.
And so they're kind of like, this takes time away from that. Yes. But Kale's like, but it's my home.
But I think they also are up to date on what's going on. Yeah. Like they know they need to go to Terrasen, like the long-term goal, but they don't know what's happening up there with Aelin and them. Like they're not super aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
So he feels like, oh, they might be up there. You know, like things might be happening. They might need us. But they don't know.
Yeah. And it's crazy because as you're reading certain parts and then you read about Aelin and like all the horrible things that they're going through, you're like, damn, I wish somebody would just show up for them.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So he gets home and his dad is just abominable.
Yeah.
And the way they describe the keep or the castle where it's just like it's falling apart, but his dad is just like bare bones, it's all we need.
It feels very like dark to me. Yeah. Like it's not a happy place. His mother's fine.
Well, the mother and the brother have left.
Yes. I can't remember. But like growing up, the mother was like what kept Kale.
Yeah. And so he's dealing with all these daddy. Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings?
No.
Oh, okay. Because there's a king in Lord of the Rings that he reminds me of. Like one of the sons was his favorite, and that son ends up dying, and then the other son is just like always trying, and like the king is so evil to him. And so as I was reading this, I'm picturing that guy from the movie. But yeah, I guess I'll move on from that. So Morath is heading to the keep there, but we have Irene, we have all the healers, the Ruck Riders.
Yep, they show up, Nezrin and Sartak.
Yeah, so they have a good chunk of people. However, thousands upon thousands of Erewhon soldiers are closing in, and it's getting more and more untenable. Is that the word I want to use? It's just like they're holding as much as they can, but it's looking like it's not going to last.
Yeah, it's like I feel like at some point they're accepting like we're going to try our best, but regardless, we're going to die in the end.
Yes. And then suddenly, who appears?
Well, if I'm thinking what you're thinking, there's another piece to it. But are you talking about him? We're talking about
No,
the other crew.
the other crew.
Right. So we gotta talk about what happened with them.
Oh, that's right. Because where we
That's
left,
why I didn't say.
Aelin is still
Aelin's in the box.
in a box, and at some point, um,
I've got the.
Maeve is like, I'm going on a little trip, and if you don't start talking soon, it's no big deal because I'm on my way to get a collar.
Yes.
And that's when Aelin is like, oh, the jig is up.
Yep.
And she starts kind of mentally preparing herself that there's no way that collar is going to get on me. I'm going to die.
Yes.
And I'm going to find a way to whatever Cairn's going to do to me while she's away because he's going to have fun. I'm going to make sure he pushes it too far.
And at this time, Rowan and the crew are in the city. Elide goes to a bar, tavern, whatever, starts spreading rumors.
Yes.
Amongst the people. They get information from a female. Her name, I don't remember.
I don't remember her name either. But
SR.
Yes, and Elide is in this trying to go into these little pubs and say I'm just looking for Karen, and she's trying to play this girl who's been scorned by him, or he was supposed to meet her. And this girl sees right through it. She's like, "You don't want anything with Karen. What are you doing? What are you really here for?" But she ends up being an old friend of Lorcan's.
Yes.
And tells her all the details that she needs to know. And she's like, Maeve has left. We don't know why, but Karen is here. We don't know what he's doing, but this is where he's going to be.
Yeah.
And they have no idea that Aelin is there. So the people of Dornell have no idea why, the army is, I guess, centered around a specific area, and there's so much security. Yes. But that's when Elide says, we think it's Aelin. And so these people, this girl and her sister, I think, agree to help and get some information.
Mm-hmm. And this is when, so at this time, you have, I think right before Maeve leaves, this is kind of a good breaking point because she brings Fenris's twin.
Yes, I forgot about this.
I don't know what his name is. She brings Fenris's twin, because he has a blood oath as well.
Yes.
In front of Fenris, forces the twin to kill himself. And this is where Fenris has his kind of his snap. As if he wasn't already leaning towards the snap, that's where he has his snap. And then Aelin is trying to support Fenris in this moment with their blank system or whatever, but you can see the wheels turning. But yes, this is when she knows Maeve is leaving, and so she's like, I'm going to die. I can't do it. And then I put the page number down because this is when Karen has he's using fire again.
Yeah.
And you have Fenris's point of view, and it says, let it kill him, wreck him. He would not serve, not another heartbeat. He would not obey. He would not obey. And slowly Fenris got to his feet. So as Karen's torturing Aelin, Fenris starts moving, even though his body is in pain because of the blood oath. And Karen is like, no, sit down, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then right here, he's looking at Aelin, and Fenris's eyes slid towards her. Neither needed the silent code between them for the words she beheld in his gaze, the order and plea, run. Karen read the word too, and he hissed, not with a shattered spine she can't. Before he brought the poker slamming down to Aelin's back with a roar, Fenris leaped, and with it he snapped the blood oath completely. So they start battling, Fenris and Karen, and this is when Aelin runs. She gets her opportunity, even though
Meanwhile, she still has this iron mask on her. She's still shackled.
Yeah. And at this point,
and she has to be, and I'm also thinking you've been in a coffin for months. How do you have the ability to run?
Yeah. And at this point, Rowan and the crew, they have their setup. They're in the woods somewhere. Rowan goes one way, if I remember. Lorcan, and there's a moment where I don't know if, and I can find it, but there's something that happens. It's Aelin's able to crack the coffin or something, enough that Rowan senses like she's alive, she's there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember
It's like
exactly
a
what
burst of power of
yeah,
her. But I think it was before this
it
moment
was.
because even the lady that spoke to Elide, they felt it. And so when
Yes.
Elide said, we think she's here, they were like, that makes sense because we
Yes.
all felt the
Yes.
surge of power.
And so when Aelin starts running, she kind of sees this area and she's running towards it, which I love this moment. And I marked this page because as she's sprinting on her weak legs, Lorcan is the person that she's running towards. And I love this because I see so much fan art because like Lorcan's running to get to her, she's running at him, and he's like not yelling, but like looking at her, like run to me, to me, to me, like run over here. Even though the last time, she saw Lorcan, like what was happening between that.
I got chills.
I know, and then she's with Lorcan. Gabriel is there, and Rowan, even though he wants to go to her, she looks at him like you have to go get Fenris. And this is when Rowan, if he wasn't already seeing red, because he knows Fenris is there and Karen's there, and he's gonna go do ungodly things to him, and that's when he takes off for that. Yeah, I think that's for me. If Lorcan already hadn't proved himself with the months of searching with them, that was like, okay.
I love that it was him who spotted her and who was running towards her and not Rowan. I mean, I hate that for Rowan because I'm sure he wanted that moment, but I love it for Lorcan because it's a little bit of a redemption. You know, like he's like, I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her out of this.
And thank God Rowan goes in, just disassembles Karen. Just leave it at that because it's a little grotesque. And then Fenris is like legit dying. But they get him back, and the only way to save Fenris is the blood oath to Aelin, which like obviously he would have done if he wasn't dying. Like what he just went through with her. Like
but it's just like, and as I'm reading it, like so much is going on that she even realized, oh, he could take a blood oath to me. Do you know what I mean? And then he does that. She does that, and it's like, you know, obviously, and then he's still very weak. But there's so much happening, and they're in the woods, and they still need to get the hell out.
She's got her mask on still.
And poor Elide. She's got no magic, no powers. She's probably just like, what do I do? What do I do? You know, she's just standing there. What do I do? What do I do? And also, which I thought was interesting but very real, is how there's no embracing moment between her and Rowan. And I think you were expecting that. They're like, oh my God, you know, you're safe, you're here. But that's not what happens. And he gives her that space, and he's like, kind of like, I don't know what to do with her, how to talk to her.
It's like she's still about to break at every second. Can you see her mental, like when she has that moment of like screaming at them to get the mask off of her? Like she goes through all these things, and like they give her the space. They have to travel now. She's trying to figure out if she still has the capabilities she had before. And then I really felt bad because we didn't talk about them in another book, but the little folk. The little folk that guide them to safety, and I'm picturing like a huge cave almost. I don't know if that's how to describe it.
With the lights, but the lights are the actual like the little animals or the little bugs or something.
And then they give her the crown of Mabe. I say Mabe.
Mabe, yeah, like the queen of the fae, the queen of the fairies.
And they guide them to like the sea, basically, so they can be on their way. I love them, and I forgot to mention them back. God, they show up a couple books before.
Yeah, and they would leave her like little wooden stick presents and stuff like that. And so she always trusted that there was just like they were leaving some sort of path for her.
But that's where they set sail and they go.
And they end up to Kale. And when they walk in, you can just feel that relief of like, oh my God, these people are here.
Thank God they're here, which is true, but Aelin's not Aelin anymore, and they don't know that, and Aelin's not going to tell them that. But Aelin is not Aelin. You've got Rowan, you've got Lorcan, you've got all of them, but then when shit hits the fan, they're down bad still.
Yeah, they are.
When they show up, they are down so bad, and they have So the battle is ensuing. They have this dam.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard for me to picture, but I know they have a dam, and Lorcan Lorcan somehow, and this is where things get fuzzy, so don't come at me. Lorcan is somehow, he's out on the battlefield because they're fighting. He's down bad because, God forbid Lorcan's like, no one's ever going to forgive me. I'm just going to kill everyone. And like, because Elide still hasn't.
But they have a moment where she basically says like the most awful things to him.
Yes.
And she's just like, you need to just even stop trying with me because it's not going to
Yes.
happen. And he's just like, what else can I do? How else can I prove myself? So he gets to a point where he's like, I'm just going to take my shields off. Like, I'm just going to fight.
I'm just going to do it because it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And then Elide realizes he's down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whose supervision they have or what binoculars they're using because she's still back closer to the keep.
Well, what ends up happening is the Ruck Riders, I love saying Ruck Riders, they figure out that the Marath soldiers have tried to use these witch towers to break the dam.
Yeah.
And they were able to stop them from completely doing it, but then they realized it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've done enough damage to it. They're like, so they make this plan that everybody needs to get off the battlefield.
Yeah.
They need to get to the keep.
Yeah.
And so they're in this process of trying to get everybody into the keep. And Elide is just like, where's Lorcan?
That's right.
And then they all kind of have this moment of feeling bad. They're like, we didn't even think of him.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's too late. Like wherever he is, he's not going to make it. And
like the dam's about to go down.
And she's just like, she goes, well, F that. And she, with her little damaged leg, she gets on the horse that Farasha, sorry. But Kale kept calling that horse like Hela's horse or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where someone says, like only Hela could help her or whatever. And Kale's like, that's what I call the horse. And it was just like all these things are coming into place. Like, I think she's going to do it. So she gets on that horse, and that horse, who is awful to everybody, listens to Elide.
Farasha? I just have a part where like she...
Yeah. And she gets on that horse, and like, come hell or high water, she's like, I'm going to find him.
Yep.
And she
does. She follows. Yes. She follows. She's screaming his name.
Yeah.
And she starts to find parts of his armor.
Yes.
That's what she starts finding. Manages to find him under a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow gets him on the horse, which is so wild. He's not saying anything because he's so close to death. She can see his bones, all this stuff, and she's pushing the horse. And here's the quote I like.
Oh, I know. I have it too.
Does it start with
I promise.
Yeah.
Yep.
I promised to always find you. I promised you, and you promised me. I came for you because of it, and I'm here because of it. I am here for you. Do you understand? And if we don't get onto that horse now, we won't stand a chance against that dam. We will die. And that's where he manages to get on that horse, and she makes that thing run harder. And she just keeps thinking. She doesn't say it out loud. Hold the gate. Hold the gate.
Yeah. And then at some point, Lorcan is like, I'm too heavy.
Yeah.
And if you want her to go faster, I got to get off here. And he makes this decision, like, I'm going to have to sacrifice myself. And I'm reading this and going, no, you are not.
Because it switches to his point of view the next chapter. Yeah.
And then he says, I love you, he whispered in Elide's ear. I have loved you from the moment you picked up that axe to slay the Ilkin. Her tears flowed past him in the wind, and I will be with you. His voice broke, but he made himself say the words, the truth in his heart. I will be with you always. And she is just like, no, I do not accept that. And she like begs that horse to run faster, and it does.
Yeah.
And they make it. And like for a quick moment, I was like, we are not ending this story like this between the two of them. That is not how this happens. Yeah.
But yeah, and then the dam breaks.
And then
Aelin, who hasn't shown any signs of power in life at this point, I believe, is able to conjure up enough power to essentially vaporize the water.
Yeah. And so there's this moment where like they see her and she's just like, I guess, summoning everything. And this is when Rowan is like 3 months. She's been making the descent in her power for 3 months, and they realize because she was saving it for Maeve.
Mm-hmm.
She was going to unleash all of this power on Maeve, but she sees Elide and like they're not going to make it, and this water is going to come over them. And so she's able to basically vaporize it, and then Rowan's able with his wind to also push it, and it's just like the two of them together. I couldn't even imagine it.
But that's all she's got.
Yeah. And so yeah. So she saves them from that, but then it's like, where do we go from here? Because now everything is kind of obliterated, and they're going to have to, whatever people, they're going to have to leave. They have to move. And so that is where part 1 ends for their journey. So Manon has the witches. She's queen of the witches now. And I don't know about Iron Teeth yet, but I still have hope that they will join. But right now she's got all the Crochan witches, and they are flying to her aid to join the war. Dorian is heading to Morath. And I already started reading some of that journey, and that's been fun.
Isn't it so funny?
Yes. And Kale and the crew, they're kind of very disheveled and wondering where do we go now? How do we move forward? And Aelin and his group are getting ready to die.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're just gonna die with honor, I guess. That's how they feel it. Like, we're gonna die on the battlefield.
But I feel as though, let me double check this happens in part 1. Aelin, Aelin does get help. Because like Manon and them, they get the call and they're flying. But do you remember who shows up before that to help Aelin? Right at the end of Aelion's story, our boy, Mr. Pirate King himself.
That's right. He comes with the fire lances.
Yeah.
And yes.
He
I
shows
forgot
up
about
right at the end, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we're okay for
they were going to die, but then he's like, I don't have enough that's going to make it to Morath. But
here we go.
I got you this far, And
I love that because I love him.
Yes, me too. I love that he showed up in the capacity that he did.
Yeah.
I just love that he's on the right side,
Yeah.
So that's
part
where
2 is just so much.
Yeah, I am currently. I'll look through my notes here. I'm on chapter 82. That's where I'm at. And I have to say, and I hope I remember for our next episode, which will be the last Throne of Glass episode we do, that chapter 81 may rival my favorite part of the witches assembling in the earlier chapters, and then what happens in chapter 81 with them.
Well, I just read some things in 82, and I was like, whoa!
No, I didn't get there yet. Shush. Oh
man, I want to.
What a ride!
I need to look it up for all of you reading, and for you, it's not anything. It's just a chapter that will just. I cannot wait till you get it.
I read 81, and that's when the kids were at lunch. And when I got to the end of that chapter, I highlighted it and I screenshot it and I sent it to you because I literally just went, oh.
Chapter 90.
90?
Chapter 90. So for those of you listening that haven't read the rest of it, and for you, chapter 90 is important.
Oh.
And like a lot of people who've read it, if you say like chapter 90, people know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Man.
Like a good important, like a happy important, a sad important.
No one knows.
Oh.
No one knows.
What do you mean no one knows? They know.
I hope you read it tonight.
Okay, I will.
Or tomorrow.
I will. We'll get to 90. That's my goal.
Maybe if you do want to record a reaction video for something,
chapter
that
90?
would be a good chapter.
Okay, I'll do that.
Love that.
I'm scared now. Also, what's really kind of fun is that our next episode, which will be the finalization of Throne of Glass, will be our 30th episode.
Wow.
Which is really funny because I think it might be a full year.
Yeah, that we did it right after or right around Thanksgiving last year, I believe.
Yeah, we started. It was either right before or right after the break.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So it's been fun.
It's crazy.
It's been fun, and I hope more things come from it. We'll see.
Anyway, have fun with chapter 90, everyone.
Oh my God. Bye.